and welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level ESL lesson, and today we're going to continue talking about reported speech. So what's the last book that you read and is reading fun for you? And you can feel free to answer these questions in the comments in order to generate some conversation. So what kinds of things do you enjoy reading? How often do you read for pleasure? Do you read more or less than you did 5 years ago? Where do you look for things to read? Do you borrow books from a library? Do you read ebooks? Or do you read articles on the internet? Okay, Selena has just finished a good book, so we're going to listen and answer the questions.
I've just finished a really good book.
Have you? I didn't know you could read.
Oh, haha, very funny.
Sorry, couldn't resist it. What was the book called?
The Flying Carpet by Catherine someone.
Catherine Peterson?
Yes, that's right. How did you know?
I read it too, a few months ago. My sister told me I should read it.
Right, so who is Selena talking with? Well, we don't learn the person's name, but it sounds like she's talking with a friend of hers. And who recommended reading The Flying Carpet? Well, it was the sister of the friend that she was talking to. So say and tell are the most common reporting verbs, but there are many more reporting verbs. And it's a good idea to use reporting verbs, especially in your writing. So here's some examples. Don't worry, the report will be ready on Friday, 100%. So she promised to finish the report by Friday. My sister told me I should read it. My sister recommended reading it. Yes, I broke the chair, but it was a mistake. He admitted breaking the chair. Yes, of course, we'll be at the party on Saturday. She confirmed they would be coming to the party. And different reporting verbs use different patterns, and we will look at a few of these verbs and patterns in this lesson. So you've already seen that say and tell are followed by that and a clause. She said that they would arrive at 10 p.m. He told me that The Flying Carpet was an interesting book. And the verb tell requires a direct object. So he told me. Like say, other reporting verbs use the structure verb plus that plus a clause. Robert confirmed that he had bought the tickets. And like tell, some reporting verbs use the structure verb plus direct object plus that plus a clause. We reminded her that the concert would start at 7 p.m. The most reporting verbs can follow more than one structure, and many reporting verbs can use one of the structures on this slide. And here are three more structures that are common with reporting verbs and other verbs too. You can use a reporting verb plus a verb ending in ing. I suggested buying that book. He doesn't recommend eating at that restaurant. A reporting verb plus to plus an infinitive. She promised to buy him a video game for his birthday. They agreed not to start the project until the following month. So the negative infinitive starts with not. And a reporting verb plus a direct object plus to plus the infinitive. I warned you not to leave the window open. The teacher invited the parents to come to a meeting. Now we're going to listen again to Selena and Peggy, and then which two statements accurately report Selena and Peggy's direct speech.
Yes, that's right. How did you know?
I read it too, a few months ago. My sister told me I should read it.
What a coincidence. What did you think of it?
Well, I have to say that I didn't expect to enjoy it much. Anything my sister says is good to read is always a bit doubtful.
All right. So the two statements that are accurate based on this listening would be B. Her sister recommended reading The Flying Carpet. and she admitted that she wasn't expecting to enjoy the book so much. All right, so now you can practice changing the direct speech into reported speech using the reporting verb that you're given. You can pause the video, try this on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So I'm coming with you on vacation. She agreed to come with me on vacation. Get away from the fire. She warned him to get away from the fire. I'm definitely coming to the party. He confirmed that he was coming to the party. That restaurant is amazing. You should go there. She suggested going to that restaurant. You have to finish the report today. She reminded him that he had to finish the report today. All right, so now we're going to listen and fill in the blanks as we go along.
What a coincidence. What did you think of it?
Well, I have to say that I didn't expect to enjoy it much. Anything my sister says is good to read is always a bit doubtful.
I like the way Vanessa decides to take a chance at the beginning of the story. She's very sad to discover that her relationship is not going well, and she's not sure what to do. Instead of sitting around feeling sorry for herself, she travels to Turkey to work as an English teacher.
You liked that part? I thought it was difficult to get through that first little bit.
What?
Yes, in my opinion, that was the worst part of the book. I hate reading about relationships.
But it's a love story.
So you notice that all of these use the infinitive to read, to take, to do, to work, to get through. All right, so now find the two examples of verb plus to plus infinitive in the text, and then answer these questions. Are these in the text? Right, so verb plus to plus the infinitive. Well, I have to say, and I didn't expect to enjoy. Those are the two examples of a verb plus to plus the infinitive. And are an infinitive of purpose provides the reason for something. So can we find any examples of these in the text? So that this first one, anything my sister says is good to read is always a bit doubtful. That's the reason that she didn't expect to enjoy the book very much. And then an adjective plus to plus infinitive would be an example of that is she's very sad to discover. And then a verb plus a question word plus an infinitive. That would be what to do. She's not sure what to do because what is a question word. And then difficult to get through. That's another example of an adjective plus to plus the infinitive because difficult is an adjective. And then let's see, travels to Turkey to work as an English teacher. That is another infinitive of purpose. All right, so now we're going to listen to the end of the conversation and answer the question. So in what order are the following things mentioned?
Well, it is and it isn't. I only just managed to get to where the real story started.
What do you mean by the real story?
Well, when she tries to go to the Grand Bazaar to buy the carpet, and she doesn't know where to catch the bus.
And then she doesn't know how to speak Turkish.
And then the American guy offers to help her.
And that's the beginning of the flying carpet adventure. Yes, okay, that part wasn't bad.
Well, maybe that is why so many people want to read it. It has something for everyone.
Okay, so they mention Grand Bazaar, to buy the carpet, doesn't know where to catch the bus, she doesn't speak Turkish, and the American guy helps her. All right, and now we're going to listen again and fill in the blanks with to plus an infinitive.
Well, it is and it isn't. I only just managed to get to where the real story started.
What do you mean by the real story?
Well, when she tries to go to the Grand Bazaar to buy the carpet, and she doesn't know where to catch the bus,
And then she doesn't know how to speak Turkish.
and then the American guy offers to help her.
And that's the beginning of the flying carpet adventure. Yes, okay, that part wasn't bad.
Well, maybe that is why so many people want to read it. It has something for everyone.
All right, so now look at each example of the to plus an infinitive and decide which kind it is. So I only just managed, let's see, managed to get to where the real story started. So let's go back here. So I only just managed to get to where the real story started. That is verb followed by the infinitive. When she tries to go to the Grand Bazaar to buy the carpet, that is an infinitive of purpose. Also, she doesn't know where to catch the bus. And then she doesn't know, so where, that would be the question word, so D. And she doesn't know how to speak Turkish. That's another one with the question word. The American guy offers to help. So offers to is a verb that's followed naturally by an infinitive or normally by an infinitive. And then why so many people want to read it. Again, that is an infinitive of purpose. All right, so what's this nonfiction book about? Do you read any nonfiction books? And which subjects interest you? And you can place your answers in the comments. So what is this book about? And what kind of person would read this book? And what is the message of this book? So put your thoughts in the comments. So here's an introduction to a review of Kieran Griffith's book. So you can pause the video and read on your own or follow along as I read. Reef? What Reef is a 2019 nonfiction book by ecologist Kieran Griffiths about the impact climate change is having on coral reefs. Unfortunately, this topic has been the focus of countless depressing documentaries in recent years, but Griffiths seeks to present a balanced argument about the future of these diverse ecosystems. In my opinion, it is well worth reading. So what do you think a balanced argument means? Balanced argument probably means that it shows both sides of more than one point of view, both the positive and the negative sides of an argument. And find the to plus infinitive. And what can you say about that example? So Griffith seeks to present So that would be an example of an infinitive of purpose, and why he's writing the book. All right, again, you could pause the video, read the next bit on your own, or you can follow along as I read. The book draws on research by scientists from around the world who have spent decades trying to understand what to do to protect our coral reefs. As the temperature of the world's ocean continues to rise, we've begun to see more and more evidence of the effects of climate change. Early chapters of the book examine these in detail, and although some of this information is likely to be familiar, it is still shocking to discover the extent of the damage and interesting to find out more about the causes and results of coral bleaching. For any politicians who decide to read this book, it is difficult to overstate the importance of taking action now. So look at each example of the to plus the infinitive to decide what kind that it is. So number one, trying to understand, that is a verb normally followed by an infinitive. So trying to is very common. The verb trying is very commonly followed by a to plus the infinitive. What to do is a verb plus a question word. To protect is an infinitive of purpose, a reason. And then continues to rise. Again, continues is a verb that's normally followed by to. And then we have begun to see. So again, begun to is followed by an infinitive. Begun is usually followed by an infinitive. And then we have likely to be. That's an adjective plus to plus the infinitive. Shocking to discover is another adjective. And interesting to find out, another adjective followed by an infinitive. Decide to is a verb that's normally followed by to plus an infinitive. And difficult to overstate is an adjective plus the infinitive. All right, we're going to read the last part and answer the questions. However, rather than dwell on the negatives, the author prefers to focus on how to turn the situation around, and his positive approach is refreshing. In his view, it is important to recognize the efforts scientists and conservationists are making to try and ensure the survival of our coral reefs. In some countries, they have managed to create coral farms. Research is being done to discover why coral in some areas, known as bright spots, seems to survive better than in others. By discovering where to transplant coral fragments, scientists could potentially maximize the regeneration process. Overall, this is a highly informative book which deserves your attention. So look at each example of the to plus infinitive and decide what kind it is. So prefers to would just be what normally prefer would be normally followed by an infinitive. How to turn the situation around, that's a verb plus a question word. Important to recognize is adjective. Making to try, so to try is generally, try is a verb. Actually, no, that would be a infinitive purpose, so it tells why. Number 5, they have managed to create. So again, managed is a verb, normally followed by an infinitive. Research is being done to discover why. That's an infinitive of purpose. Seems to survive. Seems to is normally a verb normally followed by the infinitive. Where to transplant is a question word plus the infinitive. All right, so here's a summary of the patterns explained in this lesson, and some verbs can follow more than one pattern. We have the verb plus the ing. He recommended watching a TV show. Verb plus to. He hoped to arrive first. Verb plus that plus clause. They confirmed that everyone was coming. Verb plus direct object plus that plus clause. I reminded her that the report is due tomorrow. The infinitive of purpose. I eat well to stay healthy. Adjective plus to plus the infinitive. It's good to relax on the weekend. And the verb plus question word plus to infinitive. She explained what to do. All right, so now you're going to complete the sentences with a verb and the correct verb pattern. Again, you can pause the video, try this on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So she didn't recommend staying at that hotel. She said it wasn't clean. I know it isn't good to eat sugary foods, but it is difficult to stop. He promised to wash the car on the weekend. They agreed to meet at the movie theater at 8:15. He suggested taking the whole family on a camping trip. Their father warned his children to do their homework before Monday. She admitted stealing from the store because she had no money for food. All right, so what are they saying? Answer the questions using the main verb in the question. So what does the sales assistant suggest to Alex? Maybe she suggests is suggesting trying on one of the shirts. What doesn't she recommend? So these are just some thoughts. She doesn't recommend wearing a tie with the shirt. Why is Alex surprised? He's surprised that the shirt is not expensive. And what does Alex decide? He decides to buy 2 shirts and a sweater. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave your comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.